Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode where I'm answering questions from the Automation Guild 2018 Roundtable Conference I was speaking at. Alright, so this question is from Dwayne, and he wants to know, what is your view on adding automated tests as part of the definition of done? I struggle with the feeling that the automated tests are always the item that we leave as optional when pushing a new user story to done. Well, that is certainly probably that's a more than common case across different teams. It shouldn't be that way, unfortunately, but from what I see, that is the reality for the most part. Automation is, for some reason, in a lot of teams, it's not taken as, it does not have as important of a priority as it should be. And the reasons behind this are, as for the first part of the question, if it should be part of the definition of done, yes, definitely it should be the part of done, right? Because essentially automated tests or automated checks that were executed are those areas of our testing which no human being tested manually, right? So no one else should be checking that functionality. So if that functionality is failing and we just send that over, that's a problem. What actually happens is this feature set, which is running in automation, is for some reason getting duplicated in manual testing as well. Or the feature set that is automated is not of as importance or is not that valuable that if there is something critical failing in there, they wouldn't mind that much. And in both cases, that's the problem. So if you have, let's take the first case where you have duplication of testing or checking, that kills the purpose of automation. So that's what automation was there for in the first place, to avoid testers spending time on checks. And if it's the second case where automation is just verifying scenarios which really don't have a lot of value to them, that's the problem also. Automation should be testing or should be checking features of the application which are essential. So the essentials should be checked through automation, so that we make sure that every time these essentials or fundamentals should be working. So unfortunately, the reason for why these problems do occur, probably this is a step further from what the question is. It's there. What I have felt in some cases that there's not a push from the top down to institute quick delivery and quality and make automation an integral part of that. And unless that happens, it's really hard to push this from the bottom up. It has to come from the top down, because getting to that point where automation is considered as the definition of done, you need a lot of people on board on that, because usually around release times there's a lot of pressure. We have to release in time, people from right and left trying to add features. Depends on organization to organization, but generally in some cases, or in more than should be cases, that's what happens, right? So we're trying to adding more features, cutting off features that we think should not work, but then we have clients who are looking out for that feature. Time is short, last minute bugs, we are adding fixes to them, doing hot fixes, they're coming back in again. So all of that, within that chaos, if you add that automation, unless automation passes, we're not sending this, that's a big showstopper there. Because in many cases, automation, in some cases where these problems do occur, Sometimes automation would have a lot of false failures because a lot of other people on the team are not on board with automation. So you'd have to classify what's a false failure, what's a false flag, and what's actually failing, and then you have to categorize that, if this failure is really worth stopping the release or getting a fix right now, or should we get the release out and then fix this in the next version. So within or while all that chaos is going on, adding additional variable to it, to add this variable, that's why you need a top-down agreement on adding automation to your definition of done, because at that time, unless it's from the up, from management, it's not going to fly. So, and how to get that? Well, getting management's agreement if they feel that they're not at the point where they do feel that this is something that is supposed to be a high priority. That would be a tough call, and that's a whole another subject in itself. So let's leave that for another time. But in summary about the question, yes, automation should be your part of the definition of done, and yes, you need to make sure that the automation what the automation is running is valuable and and does have meaning to the quality of the product, and if something is failing, it's considered worth investigating. And the push for this unfortunately has to come from the top down, so that everyone does agree that if something is going wrong here, then we should improve this, and automation would then start to improve itself as well, because when every different stakeholders are involved in there, then they would all have a stake in automation working well and doing their checking what is important. So that would also improve the automation strategy and automation framework itself. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, add them in the comments below. If you find this video useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to join us in redefining software quality. See you next time.